ไส้อั่วยายปีเป็นไส้อั่วที่ทำกันภายในครัวเรือนสืบทอดกันมากกว่า50ปีตั้งแต่สมัยยายปีซึ่งเป็นต้นตำรับในการทำไส้อั่ว
Good morning. Welcome to Lamphun province. So I live in Chiang Mai. North of here, about 40 kilometers. Lamphun is even older, I think. Actually, many things of the historical value around here you can still see like wide open. It's kind of untouched, I would say, especially compared to Chiang Mai, which is so close. Chiang Mai is much more developed though, so if you want a historical view of northern Thailand, Lamphun is a great place to go. So I am not here today for anything of historical nature, definitely not 1,000 years anyways. We are here to learn more about one recipe, Sai Oua. This northern Thai sausage, I think, might be one of the favorite dishes of anyone who comes to visit the north. You're gonna have lap, you're gonna have Sai Oua, well, we're gonna have both of those with some spicy chili dips. The cool thing is they make everything from scratch, everything in-house. This is Sai Oua Yai Pi, Khong Phak Jak Jangwat Lamphun. Yai is grandma, Yai Pi is the name of the grandmother. So when you visit Lamphun, you can see just very obviously older stuff happening. So for me, I live in Chiang Mai. Lamphun is definitely the kind of vibe like I might imagine that Chiang Mai used to be. When I moved to Chiang Mai, this is kind of the feeling that I was hoping for. So now Chiang Mai has developed. It's developed quite a lot actually. But if you visit the north and you want a real cultural taste, I would recommend you to visit a place like Lamphun, a place like Phra. These places had their own kingdoms, their own history, and it's still very obvious today. So when we come to visit this place where they are actually making sausage, and that's what we're going to learn today, step by step, and then of course we're going to eat some amazing northern Thai food at the end of this video. But when you come to a place like today, it is not only about the recipe. I mean, you can learn a lot about any culture through the food, for sure, but when you get to spend some time in the place, on site, in the location, there's just so much more learning that can happen, and so I am very blessed. We are very welcome hanging out with the team, and we are going to be doing some learning, some traveling, some eating today. Welcome again to Lamphun. This is Sai Oua Yai Pi. See you inside. So it's not a guarantee of age, but at least, you know, a sign like this is going to show a shop that has maybe 20 or 30 years of popularity. Sai Oua Yai Pi เป็นไส้อั่วที่ทำกันภายในครัวเรือนสืบทอดกันมากกว่า50ปีตั้งแต่สมัยยายปีซึ่งเป็นต้นตำรับในการทำไส้อั่วแม่สีพา someone's name that's hard to read, sorry, ฮั่นทิรันเป็นไส้อั่วหมูไม่มันมาก okay, so this is a recipe that was handed down to Grandma B. Over 50 years they've been in the same location. This is the original recipe and it focuses on pork, specifically not fatty recipes. So Sai Oua has a few different styles. We're going to learn about the style of Yai Pi right here. So some Sai Oua focus more on the herbs, some focus on a mix of mince and fat. This is one that focuses more on the mince, it says from this sign. So again, 50 years, let's learn why they are so famous. So welcome, we're in the back room now. This is where the process starts. Behind me, you see the sausages being formed. So it is pig intestines being used as the casing, and then this is a Sai Oua Mu, so pork Sai Oua, pork sausage, and the spices, they've all been minced in with the meat. They're all chopped, finely chopped. You see in the mixing bowl right here. In here, it already smells great because there are so many spices that are part of a good Sai Oua recipe. So Yai Pi has been here for 50 years in the same location, remember, so we are really enjoying learning about the process like up close, firsthand. So cool. So a team of two. One lady is forming the raw sausage, cutting each link, measuring with her hands, keeping the consistency
I guess, the thickness uniform. So the machine takes care of the consistency of the actual mince, but then this lady, she's forming the sausage into the perfect size, and then her partner, she is gonna cook the Sai Oua, actually bake. So it's not completely, you might expect a sausage like that barbecue, that char, that's another process. This is one that they're basically making it food safe so that you can then choose how to continue with the recipe.
There are a few different types of Sai Oua. You can see they have their own type. Sometimes you have like a really rough cut. Sometimes you have like a really fine one like this. So Yai Bi, she has her own style. And I really appreciate, first of all, the cleanliness of everything. You can see up close the full process right now. This is such a treat.
So over here, they have a shop. You can buy, of course, sausage, but also a ton of other northern stuff, some snacks. I see two very cool ingredients over here in the front. Dog Niu, featuring in Nam Nghiao, and also Tua Nao, bean cakes. Northern flavors, also just all of Thai flavors, but with a northern flavor. Oh yeah, and then you have something like Kap Mu, you have Nang Kwai, and then different types of Nam Pik, Pik Gang. Oh, so they have a ton, they have a huge selection over here. And then up top, finally you see Yai Bi herself, Grandma Bi, and then you see the prices. Sai Oua, Kap Mu, Rai Man, so without the fatty part attached to the pork skin, and then Nam Pik Num, Pat Keung Nai Mu, some Mu Suan, heavenly pork right there. Here you have some Vietnamese style sausage in the banana leaf. Now this is a very different sausage than the style that we're gonna eat. And then over here you see some more northern flavors. For example, Nam Pik Da Dang. Right here. Here's a more dry Nam Pik. You might have a Nam Pik Ka made with galangal.
So while you might notice the names of a few recipes or think that you're familiar with some stuff, I'm gonna tell you the north is really subtle. There's a lot of stuff happening that you might not realize how distinct and how unique, especially when you get to a province kind of outside of Chiang Mai. There are still distinct and unique flavors and even, distinct local cultures that you can find. If you go out, you take the trip for yourself. So when we are visiting a place like this beautiful Sai Oua Yai Bi, which is just an example of a family that just dedicate time to one single recipe and just doing it so well. So not only tasting like an awesome recipe, like I'm sure we're gonna have, but also getting just a little window into a specific local culture, and that's reward in itself, reason to visit, definitely. But first, a surprise. We're coming for breakfast because that process, actually they make the Sai Oua from scratch. So it is not happening quickly and we're hungry. So we got to get some northern food in us to start the day off right. So we are at Gate Suda, Ahan,พื้n Mueang. Oh, the last letter's kind of falling off. So the front of the shop might not look too stunning, but inside we have a local guarantee. This is a place where our friend Bo, she is from Lamphun. She said she knows in the morning this place is unbeatable. So I'm excited by that. Oh yeah, just walking in. The smell would guarantee she is correct. Oh man. ขอบคุณครับ
เปิดดูได้ทุกอย่างเลยนะ
ขอบคุณครับ
So one of the ways you can recognize local food, authentic local food, I would say, is by these stainless steel pots. So in the morning, these are all, they're made early, sometimes as early as 4 a.m., 5 a.m. It's all fresh and they just sell it until it sells out. So in the front, you can see a description, but the names are all in Thai. Definitely you can use your phone, use Google Translate, but you can also just do this. So kind of smile and she'll say, yep, go ahead. And then you just start opening, you just start using your nose. Oh man, you find out which ones you like, which ones you might save for next time. We, however, are here together with 5 people, so we're having one of each, the best order. So we have 5 or 6 dishes here. I think we ordered maybe 12 total. You can see it's all about stews. There's a lot of fresh veg, raw ingredients. And there are not so many curries. There is definitely no coconut milk anywhere on this table. Look at these. You see pork, you you see buffalo, and this is definitely what you can say authentic local food. Like the sign says, อาหารพื้นเมือง we are in for a treat right here.
This is great. When you come with more friends, it means you can order more dishes.
จิ้นควายนึ่งกับน้ำพริกข่า
So the first dish, I mean, it is really hard to pick when there's such a selection of food like this. It all is so vibrant. The colors are just popping out. New ingredients, but I'm gonna go for a favorite, a classic, because I know this one. This is buffalo meat. You see some fatty bits, you see some lean bits, and then on the side here, this is called namprik ka. Ka means galangal. Namprik is a relish, but this one's dry. It's totally different. So, you take a bit of meat, I'll take a mixture, one lean, one jiggly, and then go into the plate. I've got my sticky rice already. Gonna anoint with some namprik ka right there, and then I'm gonna drop my spoon. You grab your sticky rice. This is northern style as well. You rip it off, it's still hot. You kind of ball it up like that. You do wash your hands before. Then you go in. It's a hands-on meal for sure. Scoop up, get a full flavor in the first bite. It's like that flavor of a Sunday roast. But Southeast Asian Sunday roast is also spicy. It is absolutely the roast of my dreams. So some people might have this with beer, with alcohol. I'm having it with sticky rice, different carbohydrates. It's all good. Range of flavors. You got smokiness, you've got herbs, then you've also got the meat itself. It carries, it's got fat. It's just so complex. I love this dish. It can show you northern food just in one menu item.
Next dish, lamb.
So another meaty dish you gotta be familiar with in the north is lap. Remember, the style of lap in the north is different. The dry herbs are what carries it, not really the sourness or even the spiciness. It's about the dry herbs, and then also in the meat here you see the cut, it's intestine mixed with mince. This one again is buffalo, so it's called lap kwai soup. They'll ask you, "Ao soup le dip ka?" And dip is raw, so you say lap kwai soup kap. In the north, lap kwai kua. It's weirdly sweet. And then you remember one of the key ingredients is bile. Buffalo bile. The galangal. The long pepper. So then you reach for some herbs to chase. You've got dill here. And then you've got this, it's a type of ginseng. Not Chinese though, Siberian. Got some cabbage. And if you want, some sticky rice. Those two meat dishes, I mean, we have a ton of other stuff, but those two are just classic. In terms of the meaty items, those are classic.
So before the next recipe, someone directed my attention to a chili cheers. You're right, it is overdue.
When I was reaching for the lap kwai bowl, she said, "Joel, you gotta get a chili too." She's the one who challenged Bo. Woo! Wow. Yeah, they are fiery. ขึ้นจมูกแป๊บเดียว Wow.
ไม่ใช่กะเหรี่ยงพริกเหนือ
Yeah, those are fiery. And in the north, that smokiness. See, it's not a bright chili. Those are not the pekinu. Wow, those are more like the Chinese reds. They're very smoky. Goes right up the nose. Wow. Okay, next up is the chu chi pla แบบเหนือ
ใช่ไหม
There's so much curry on this fish. So the name of this is chu chi. Chu chi, I am most familiar with southern food, but chu chi really is just the name of a curry. So this is specifically northern style chu chi, as the girl taking care of us assured me. This is different, she said. ต้องลองกินดู Wow. First, yeah, I'm actually sweating from that chili challenge from Nong Bo. So let's try if this curry will help me cool down or if it will continue the fire. So they steam the fish. They steam it with herbs. Kaffir lime leaf, cilantro, lemongrass. Then they have some chilies in there. Galangal for sure. And then the chili paste is, I think it's fried. So it's like a double dose of flavor. The fish meat is sour, but it's fresh. I love catfish. It's so fatty. It's not flaky. The fish meat is totally different. It's a river fish. It works well as lap. It also works well in curries like this. So I just realized this was the dish that I didn't know. What do you know? I didn't know that I didn't know. So it's full of tomatoes. You can see that from the broth. It's like a curry, but the name actually just goes with the meat. So Jin is northern language for meat, and it is full of buffalo. Yeah, I was kind of avoiding it. I was going crazy for that fish. The chuchi balado is just so good. But I realized I don't think I've had this dish. There are so many reasons why Thai food is just the best. How can you have a dish that is at the same time herbal, sour, sweet, and fiery? And those herbs, they just kind of got carried away on the spoon, but they're very welcome. The dill lights it up as well. Northern food is incredible. It's just so diverse. I think I might never have had that dish before. Jin So, food is awesome. Something funny. My friend, he said, "You ate that chili by itself? Oh, it can't be too spicy. You're still talking." So he tried, and he was tearing up until the end of the meal. Great. He's like, I can eat it, but how do you keep making a video? The food makes way for itself. What a great one. Okay, we're back in the car. We're gonna go find some coffee, and then we're gonna get back to the Sai Oua factory. See you there. So in keeping with all the traditional stuff all around, there are famous clothings, different colors that are common among the north, especially dark blue. That's even more common in Pre. And then maybe some snacks you might find along the roadside, one of which we're gonna have right now. But there's not just the food, there's not just the downtown. Also, if you have your own time, if you have your own transportation, you can ride and take a full day tour around each of the districts in the north of Thailand. That's something that I never ever get tired of doing. We're lucky we have a beautiful day today. Actually, this next stop, can you believe it? We're gonna have some ice cream, also made fresh, made in-house. Let's try. I love the style of Thailand. So, sut means like the most ripe or the most ready. And this is a shop that does everything in-house as well. So let's try some of this. It's so cool. We're trying some santol ice cream. I've never even heard of someone trying that, let alone gelato, let alone making it themselves. So it's not ice cream, it's a gelato. And, oh, I got a cone, and I just broke the cone. It's incredible because it does taste just like the fruit itself. I don't know how to make gelato, but I can tell you this does taste like santol. So santol is katan or patu in northern language. So this is my friend's order right here. This is the same fruit. You can see that's actually the peel of the santol right there. So there's the santol fruit. Here is some, it's called pig glua, which is just some dried chilies and salt. But then here is the ice cream that I got in a cone. They're serving it in its own peel. So cool. So part of the awesomeness of having a bountiful fruit country like Thailand, but also that ingenuity that I was telling you about. So just like we have curries with fruit in them, we had like a jackfruit curry for lunch. You can have a spicy salad made with this, which is called gathon. We had the pomelo in Loi. Just Thai food is it's just the best. So ขออนุญาตถ่ายรูปด้วยนะครับ Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys, if I could only tell you. I mean, you can imagine how good it smells right here, but just a live barbecue, especially when there are so many herbs and spices in there as well. It's not just the meat. You can see so obviously these are handmade, right? Look at the irregularity of the shape. You can see through that pork intestine skin, that casing. You can see the herbs on the inside. Oh my gosh, it smells incredible. So you remember from the front, we got a short description of the ingredients. They have lemongrass in these. They have red onions. They have kaffir lime leaf, and they also have galangal. So a few different recipes across the north. There are, I would say, 3 main types. So we are having one here that is less fatty, and it's also less spicy. So how do I know that? Well, I got a secret sampling already, but so out here in the main part of the shop, can catch my breath a little bit. Man, it is so sweaty in there. Respect to the 2 ladies taking care of the grill right now. You see they were covered up to their eyes. So yes, they're probably sweating under some clothing, but it's protecting their skin because on those hot charcoals, the temperature is just crazy. I could only get close enough to take about 30 seconds of video, so I'm coming back out here to talk about some more details. So you see the shop even. I mean, yes, this is a mechanic shop. It's cool. You can see some kind of old or retro car parts. It's like a collection, but it's also a kind of like a mechanic shop. Not the fact that it's a car shop specifically, but the fact that there are 2 or more businesses out of the same location. That is something that you'll see in Thailand, and that's something that it's so cool that the whole family will live kind of in the same location. And so it just happens that the different entrepreneurial dreams of 2 family members might have to happen in the same location. So you get these kind of cool matchups, and this one right here is a mechanic and sausage factory in the same warehouse.